Well, since our last interview, you and Kevin Durant had an interesting back and forth.
Yes.
Kevin Durant actually reached out to me at one point and said that he loves my stuff. He watches it every day, and you know what I'm saying? Keep doing my thing, which is very nice from someone like Kevin Durant. But I've never actually met him in person. Why did you actually post his DMs?
All right, this is what happened with I've talked about this before, but I'll break it down. So his people, I'm going to just say his people reached out to me about doing content. They want to do content. We love your shit. This is after he went to Golden State. After he went to Golden State, we love your shit. We love the shit talking. We want to do, he's going to launch a blah, blah, blah channel. We want to do some stuff. Cool. Let's go meet, have lunch. All right, we meet, have lunch. All right, yo, he wants to talk to you. All right, we're going to do some shit. So I went up to Golden State. I did some shit with him. And the content was dope. The content was fun. And somebody from his team, after they agreed to pay me, said, we're not paying you. This is a fact.
Okay.
Somebody. And then they wanted to pay me, but I was like, you're fucking paying me. Because it didn't perform as good as they wanted it to or something. That wasn't part of the thing. It was like, yo, I'm going up to fucking Golden State. You want to shoot some shit? And we're not talking about a lot of money. If I told you the amount of money, you'd be like, they didn't want to pay, like ridiculous, like nothing.
Okay.
You're going to fucking pay me. Anyway, but I didn't have no problem with Kevin. I thought he was, we were cool. I like him. He's funny and all that shit. Then I think it was after, when he got to, after the injury, when he got to Brooklyn, he did this interview. What happened was he did an interview. I hadn't spoken to the thing, but I was like, fuck it, fuck these guys, and fuck his man, really. I was like, fuck his man. And I didn't really communicate with him, blah, 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 blah. I think, I had sent him after the Achilles injury, speedy recovery. When he came back, he did an interview, which was a famous interview on TNT with Charles and Shaq, and he was a real bitch, not answering questions, being all passive-aggressive young Kevin Durant before he's coming to his own. He does a lot better with the press and all that stuff now. Does a lot better with understanding what it means to be famous, which I understand. And I tweeted, because the interview was everywhere. He was real short with Charles Barkley and Shaq and Kenny. It was very awkward. I was like, if you don't want to do the fucking interview, don't do the fucking interview. Tweeted it. He DM'd me. Motherfucker, when I see you, I'm going to spit in your face, da-da-da-da-da.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. I was like, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. A little back and forth. But when I see you, I'm going to spit in your face. Pull up. I'll be at fucking steakhouse or whatever the fuck. I was like, goofy shit. This is in DMs. One more time, he commented on something. He said something about your wife. Your wife. I can't remember. It was like your wife knows she's not married to a real man. I said, don't fucking say a fucking word about my fucking wife, bitch, or whatever the fuck I said. And then there was a third time, unprovoked. This is 3 times after the interview tweet. And I was having a bad day. There was a couple things going on. He said, I don't remember what he said, but it was the DMs that wind up getting, I put out there. And he said something, and I was like, all right, motherfucker. And I probably said, suck my dick or whatever the fuck I said. And I posted the DMs. If you had told me that would have turned into the whirlwind that it turned into, I would have never, ever, ever posted the DMs. Was it my greatest social media decision? Absolutely not. But it went on and on and on. And then the NBA's involved. And then he's getting fined for it. And I'm like, this is way more than... And then it became a whole racial thing. And, because everything has to become racial. It was somehow... I can't even remember the context of how it became racial, but it became a whole racial thing. And...
He got fined.
He got $50,000. He'll be fine. The $50,000 is less than they didn't want to pay me to do the stuff. And it just went on and on and on. And normally with, like today's news cycle, normally something's like, and this is during Trump's time in office. And I've had beef, with things I said about Trump, and they come and then they go. 24 hours. This was a week. This is a fucking week. I was like, this wouldn't go away. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So did I imagine that it was going to last that long? No. Do I wish that it had never happened? 100%. Because I acted out of a combination of things that were going on in my life that day, and him just continuing to be so like blatantly disrespectful. And I'm like, fuck you, bitch ass motherfucker. That's what my mentality was at the time. That's the Kevin Durant story.
Okay. And Nick Young jumped into the conversation. He compared you to D'Angelo Russell.
Valid. I mean, sort of valid. Cool. I mean, great. What did I say? I think I said something to him. I mean, it's a valid comparison, but it is what it is. But you know what? I feel like I was ahead of my time because now everybody leaks fucking DMs. Everybody leaks DMs. It's never turns into a racial thing. And
I'm not a fan of this. If you DM me, I'm going to keep this to myself.
It was not my best decision. And it was what it was. It wasn't like, it just was, the thing that surprised me was like, it just, in the news cycle today, it was a whole week of it. And I was like, what the fuck? Well, and the racial component, somehow it took on a racial component.
It always takes out a racial component.
I think because he said you're white, this and this. And I didn't even respond by saying, like, look at your hair, like, what's going on with your hair? Like, why do you look like you have a sandbox on the top of your head? I didn't respond by saying anything like about like his grill or his hair, because it looked like he had some kind of like, I don't know, like his shit got ran over like a few times, or like somebody took sandpaper. I didn't say anything about that in the DMs. I didn't insult. It looked like somebody took sandpaper to his head, and like I didn't say any of that. You better keep that.
I'm keeping it. No, I'm keeping it.
But you better clip that good. I mean,
no, I got you.
Please clip that good.
No, look, it always turned into.
It always turns into a racial thing.
Race. Like, remember, you and I were texting during this time when I was going back and forth with the Princeton professor, and she basically told me, I made a comment about the mixed quality of Kendrick's Not Like Us, which later on, the actual engineer came forward and said, Kendrick made me put out that song in like 2 hours. It wasn't mixed. I had to go back and remix, do the mix later. So I was actually right. But I get called out because I'm white, speaking
Culture
about...
vulture.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to speak about black music because I'm white.
The fuck out of here.
I responded because I'm speaking to a Princeton professor. I'm not thinking this is a black female. I'm just thinking this is a Princeton professor, and it suddenly turns into white DJ Vlad tries to get a black female professor fired.
I reached out to you.
I'm not even thinking that this is a black female. I'm thinking the Princeton professor thing supersedes all that basic shit.
I said this the last time I was on your podcast. I will debate, conversate, argue, haggle over hip hop with the best of the best. Now, I'm not an Encyclopedia Britannica. There's people that know a lot more than me, but I will have a strong opinion about hip hop versus anyone. White, black, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember this. I reached out to you first. I don't even know how I got you. This is before the internet. Because you had put out those, people don't know like the mixtapes you put out.
Oh, yeah.
Was it the Three Kings? What was there was one.
Rap Phenomenon?
Rap Phenomenon, that mixtape.
There's the Biggie, the Tupac, then there's a Rock Phenomenon they did with...
But you did the Biggie and Tupac, and you did like the Kings of New York, or like it was like Biggie, Tupac.
No.
But I mean, it's like...
But I did the Biggie and Tupac Rap Phenomenon.
I don't explain shit to anybody about my pedigree, my history, my point of view on hip hop. with anybody. I'll argue, debate, go nose to nose with anybody. Like I said, I don't know the most, but what I know I'm clear on my point of view, and I'm clear on where I was, what I've seen, and everything in between. And that rhymes. And that wasn't even on purpose. That's how clear I am on this shit. So all that white shit, I don't give a fuck about it in regards to hip hop. Get the fuck out of here. That's like lowest hanging fruit when it comes to that stuff. I feel like I should go back there and play some drums now.
You should. We got sticks?
I don't know how to play drums, but if I could be like, yo, and suck my dick.
Well,
and Kevin Durant.